All right. We are live. We are live. It's awesome. So we have Ron the Don Dizon here, and it's just me tonight. Ryan's got dad duties and stuff, but it's a great opportunity for Ron and I to sit down together and have some one-on-one. So welcome to episode 4 of the Rowdy Ones. We're excited to
Dude,
have y'all.
that's my
Yeah.
number.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about it.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't.
Oh, snap. I think I was talking to Jackson Frey today because I was at Blast Camp
Yeah.
and we were setting up for a big tournament they got this weekend. But we were talking about the podcast and he's like, oh, I haven't gotten around to listening to ours yet on YouTube, or like, because you guys have a video aspect
Yeah.
and then as well as the audio. And I was like, I think this is number 4. And he goes, number 4. I go, I think that's my number, but I'm not sure yet. So I can't wait to see which episode this is. This is great. This is fitting.
Dude, it was perfect. This couldn't have been, even if it was planned, it couldn't have been planned better. So
Hell yeah.
that was great. That's awesome.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for coming back on again. I'm super excited. So let's jump into it, man. Y'all had a pretty awesome weekend from what I heard. What went down?
So we actually got most of the guys together out here at Blast Camp in Hobart, Indiana. That's the home field for me, as well as the guys who came from Blast Camp, the professional team. So I had Ryan Moorhead, Andy, and Sam Monville come in and stay at my place Friday night. We got some good ramen. I had to show them some of my favorite spots in the city. I know that those guys are foodies, so as well as Stella and I. So we showed them my hood a little bit and got some good ramen, and then went to Blast Camp on Saturday. Had a good grind against Infamous / like some of the local guys.
Yeah.
So it was like Infamous, Distortion, and this Blast Camp has a divisional team called BC Riot, Blast Camp Riot. So that's their Division 2 team. So we had Division 2 semi-pro and pro competition, and it was good to get the guys together and get that just time on the field. That's, I think, what we're lacking as a squad, with the new additions.
For sure. No, it sounded like everybody had a good time this weekend. Super jealous. I was missing the boys. It was
I know we missed you, Al.
Oh, I appreciate it. But no, it's I think it's really awesome now that we're getting to do these things outside of the event practices, and I feel like this is going to help our momentum. I feel like we had a pretty good showing, even though we were learning in Tampa. We still had a good showing. We gelled well. Everyone was it was all copacetic and cohesive. It was so smooth. And, I think these things are what's going to boost, and I don't think anyone will argue. I think this is what will boost the team to where we need to be, and people know who Houston Heat as, and I think this is it. And I'm really excited.
Yeah. So again, it's going back to, time on the field together, and then actually dissecting what we need to work on. So having a set list of goals. I know we went over some things that we really wanted to work on going into these practices. And then what was great is Sunday, we actually played against some of the lower division teams. So Division 4, Division 5, just some of the guys a lot of the guys that I either grew up playing paintball with or I am coaching currently. So to be able to give back to the community and like play with those guys and give them an opportunity to, step on the field with us. Like, I was really excited for that. And Virgil was really happy that we were, not being sticklers about the, the skill level, but more or less just getting out there and playing some paintball. So I think that's really it, is like, I've been playing with some of these guys for a long time, and some of the younger guys, I've been watching their careers blossom, but to be able to do that together, to display, for the hometown crowd at Blast Camp, as well as, put on for ourselves a weekend of dissecting, like I said, some of those weak points and some of those sticking points we could work on. It was great. I couldn't ask for a better weekend.
Dude, that's awesome. And you said Andy was there.
Yeah, Andy, the new guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made his way out.
So is that like, is it a confirmed deal? Like, is he with us now? Is he
Oh yeah,
balling?
yeah. So for those of you who don't know, right before the event, we picked up Andy Ramos,
Ramos.
for from the Oilers. It was a semi-pro team,
Hmm.
and he played great in the practice leading up to the event. We were playing against them, and um, upper management said, we want to give this guy an opportunity, and they did. And I think he played great for his first professional event ever in the spins that he had, and I think he's growing and he's learning our system slowly. And he's off the field, he's a great person to hang out with. I love that little guy, so he's kind of like a mini me. When we
Yeah,
play, we kind of look the same, dude. It's pretty
dude.
uncanny.
Yeah, you sent me that picture, and it's like the way y'all are moving. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's very familiar. It's like
yeah.
y'all got it. Y'all both got it. So
I mean,
I'm excited.
if him and I end up playing the same side together and we dress the same, you better watch
Oh,
out whoever's in front of us, because you won't know
oh,
which one of us you kill. And I think if you kill either one of us, it doesn't matter because the other one's just as good. So we got
yeah,
we got some hat tricks.
dude. Yeah, right. Swap loaders confuse Maddie. Won't
Yeah.
know who's there.
Well,
Oh, dude.
he wore my jersey at the event because we didn't have a
I know.
jersey in time for him. So
The
it
only way
was
I could tell was loader, mainly loader color. Right. He runs that brown
yeah.
loader. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And I
and
was
this
like,
goggle that's right here, this blue one
yeah, yeah,
in my
yeah, yeah.
background.
And
That blue
yep.
one, because I wore the blue one. It's funny because I was putting in, obviously he's new to the team, so he's getting some gear from HK Army,
Yeah.
and he sent me a list of things, and one of them was blue goggle clips. He's like, now they'll never be able to tell who they are, and I'm like, oh, that's nice, good thinking, dude. So
Oh, spicy. I like
yeah,
it. Dude,
I'm
that's
glad,
awesome. Well,
that the organization, the team is really excited to have him, and I'm really excited to work with him and see how his career blossoms.
yeah, I think it's going to be really awesome. I got to spend some time with him. When we went out to the summer party dinner, the
Yeah.
van.
Yep.
uh,
The clown
uh,
car.
dude, the clown car. We piled out of that thing. That was
Yeah,
funny. Um,
that was good.
but I was really genuinely impressed with not only how he played, but how he upheld himself off the field. It was
Yes.
same mentality as Heat. He was hungry, he was excited, he was passionate, but he is a good, genuine person.
Hmm.
And I was like, you know, I was like, man, I hope he stays. He
Hmm.
can really fit in to what Houston Heat is. So I think it's a great pickup. Really happy for him. I'm happy he has the opportunity and we have the opportunity to have him. I think it's going to be a really exciting thing.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I think to build on that, he's very mature and respectful off the field, and that's what
mm,
I appreciate. He's a good person,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
His moral compass seems there.
yeah,
So I'm excited. I'm excited just in general where we're
same.
at. So awesome. So practice went well. And that I think is great. Y'all actually played the lower skill set, the lower divisional teams, because that not only like grows them, but it grows the sport. Those kids could now they can start digesting what y'all are doing differently and how y'all are moving and the speed and like how you change things up, and you make those adjustments. And I think that's really big for divisional teams to really get to be against that, because sure, I mean, you probably dunked on them, but the thing is though is that's a learning process that those guys get to have, but it also
Yeah,
creates fans too.
yeah. I mean, two things. First thing, I wouldn't call them kids because half those guys are older than me.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like a few of them that I coach are 10 years older than me. So,
Okay.
um, yeah. But
Well, the people.
I will say, and I was talking to Jackson about that. I do think that it needs to be known that there is a gap between, you know, what we do for a living, right? Versus
Yep.
what some people do as a passion and as something they play on the weekends, or some of them even play, you know, more than most pro players. Some of them, those guys play a lot, right? But I do
Mm-hmm.
think that there is a difference when you have your entire team together to show, you know, showcase why we're professional and why we do this, right? Like
Right.
we don't miss some of those shots on the break or some of those gunfights, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We don't fail to capitalize on a kill on the break, you know? So it's just the mentality of the game, you know?
Yeah.
And like I was telling Jackson, it's like, you know, a lot of those guys that we played against will be playing on a random Wednesday night ball, or, you know, some Thursday or Friday pickup games or whatever it may be. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, some of those guys, they get the best of you. They get a shot in on you. You know, you got
Yeah.
guys who you're not playing with your team, you're playing with some random people,
Mm-hmm.
and they get that shot in on you. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
I think after some time, you know, after you play weeks after weeks, sometimes some of those guys, you know, they get a little attitude on them, and they think, you know, oh, you know, you do this for a living, you know, like, well, you know, like almost like a small lack of respect, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice to be able to show why we are at the level we're at, you know.
100%.
And I think it's about respect at that point. But at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's why paintball's fun. You're able to go out there and just, you know, play against whoever. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they get the best of you sometimes, but
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, as you get better, you'll get the upper echelon ends of those points on your side, right? So
Yep.
I think it was good for the community. I think it was good to be able to do that. When I was younger, I had Aftershock, Chicago Aftershock, to do that
Mm-hmm.
with.
Yeah.
And I am thankful for having that competition in my area, because it gave me, now it'll give you know, the people we played this past weekend, but it gave me that drive to be like, oh, like I actually shot one of them this time. I can do this, you know.
Yeah.
I can gain the confidence to get there. You know, it's just going to take time. It's going to take learning from these guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that depends on what the goals are, right?
Right. That's 100% correct. And no, I think that the amount of, like, people need to know the difference of what y'all
Yeah,
do versus what
yeah,
a D5 or a weekend warrior is, because it's not like you just showed up and you were great. It's the time, the effort, the money, the practice. Like, you're missing out on someone's house party. You're missing on all these different occasions, events that are going on, and it's the sacrifice. It boils
hmm
down to sacrifice and how bad do you really want it.
hmm
Hang on, but my pause.
okay. Hell's taking a work call, guys. We knew and foresaw that this was going to be happening. So I'm taking over the show. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Ronnie Dizon. And I got new merch coming out. We're probably going to talk about it later, but I'm going to plug it right now. It's right here. It's the Dizon Doc Spring Collection. I talked about it in my vlogs. I just got the samples in. They look and fit great. This is an This is an oversized medium. As you guys can see, it's oversized. And yeah, it's just me now. So yeah, I'm just sitting here, just drinking my this isn't a beer, this is a sparkling water. Polar. Shout out to Polar. If they want to sponsor this podcast, sponsor it. Because it's my favorite sparkling water from Costco, because it has a lot of bubbles. And I like bubbles. Bubbles are great. How's back?
He was, how's
Did
that?
you hear
How's that?
did you hear any of that?
No, missed
Oh,
it.
okay.
I
I
was,
took
I
over
was,
the show. I took over the show for a second.
hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Keep
See,
the keep
Houston Heat based podcast, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Just keep that in there, dude. We're good.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm not editing at all. And I'm
All
going to get to rewatch this and I'm going to be like, oh, whatever it is. Yeah,
Nice.
sorry about that, guys. I did have a work call. I am on call. I run heavy equipment and plow snow in
Oh, we're good,
Colorado.
dude. I took it over. I filled the gap. We're good to go.
Anyways, all right. So I think it's a. I think those younger player or not younger players, the lower divisional players getting to play against y'all. That's huge in all aspects, and it's what grows paintball on all sides. So
Yeah.
that was great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm glad it went well. And I am just, it like fills my heart full of joy getting to see Heat come together and start doing more things as a team. And we had no coaches, right? It was just a team, like player bonding trip, right?
Yeah. I actually so I coach part-time, on the
Mm-hmm.
side. I coach Snafu, which is a divisional team. They have division 4 and 5 teams out here at the um mid American Paintball League, the Max Paintball
Yeah.
League. Is it Mid American? It's Mid American. I'm almost positive it's Mid American.
Okay.
I could have been wrong. I've been staring at those bunkers all day and I can't remember. I think it's Mid American. Um, and so I coach the Blast Camp series, and then I also coach the Premier Division, which is the pro division in California at the WCPPL. So I actually
Mm-hmm.
have like the iPad with the software to coach.
Oh,
So what
that's
I did
cool.
was I brought it out and I was able to like put down some you know um some goals and some plays and set up lines and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like stood with the guys and we did it together, so it was
Mm-hmm.
great to be able to talk about our goals for the day
Yeah.
and our objectives and who was going to play, who's going to sit. It helped to
Mm-hmm.
keep some sort of structure, you know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, it was basically, we just went out there, focused on clobbering, and had got some fun paintballing.
Well, instead of kill, what were y'all telling each other out there? I love
Oh,
this.
at one point, instead of kill, like, cause our kill count is like kill 1, kill 2, kill 3, we were saying clobber 1, clobber 2, clobber 3. It's pretty good. It's a very long
And
word, but it's pretty good. It
it's
worked nice.
worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth it though. It's worth that extra pronunciation.
Yeah.
No, I love it. And that's when you know you're having fun. Like you're gelling, you're growing, you're having fun when you start doing these off the wall things. And I just think it's such a I think it's I think it's just a beautiful thing and it's great. So
Yeah.
um and then not having the pressure of coaches, I think players can really bond even more. Not that they don't need to bond with the coaches and things like that, but I think when y'all have to organize yourself as players, someone kind of steps in, or y'all all step in as a coach. Y'all are like, hey, we
Mhm.
need to do this, we need to do that. That leads to better on and off field communication.
Yeah.
And that is what is winning games, tournaments, it's matches.
Yeah. And I think it's to build on that point, it's getting on the same page with everybody, right? And
Yeah.
getting respect from each of your peers. Like Moorhead and Sam combined, their experience is insane. This past weekend, to be able to ask them questions about things that maybe I wasn't sure about, so we could get to a conclusion.
Hmm.
That was incredible to hear their insights, because I respect their opinions so much. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yep.
then the younger guys bringing the nuances of how the game is evolving, and how
Hmm.
they see the game. If we all can take some of those nuances, that there's some truth there, and some of the
Hmm.
experience and the mentality and the references that myself and some of the veteran guys have gained, that's
Hmm.
a good recipe to have a winning combination, right?
Yeah.
I think in years past, we were very comfortable and kind of going through the motions sometimes, instead of looking outside the box of how maybe we want to approach some things. And
Hmm.
I think we're on to a good start.
No, it's great. So, no, I'm just super pumped for y'all, and it's just gonna be,
I'm
it's
fucking amped, dude. I'm fucking
dude.
amped.
I am too. Like it's like I've always been happy and appreciative and loving of this team. Obviously, why I sit here today, right? But getting to see what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, like I said, it just fills my heart. Like it's
Yeah,
good.
man.
It's exciting. It's just wholesome. It's great things to come, and it's
Yeah,
only
dude.
gonna get better. So
It's
I'm
really where I'm sitting right now, like exactly where you are. Just I'm just excited to get back on the field with my boys, Like
dude.
I'm going to California to coach this weekend, and I'm really excited
Mhm.
to see the guys I coach out there,
Yeah.
And shout out to Phoenix Rising, the team I coach in
Mhm.
California. But as soon as I get back from that, I'm so excited to step back on the field with my boys,
Yeah, because y'all are doing it fairly soon again, right?
Yep. We got to practice
Yeah,
in 2 weeks again.
dude.
And to be honest, this is something that Paintball Fit has shown is hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And I think it's a wake up call for a lot of the veterans, as well as some of
Yeah.
the, veteran teams in the league, that we just
Mhm.
need to play more paintball. And I'm excited that we are now. I think that's huge. I mean,
Yeah,
it's one thing for me to go to the field 4 times a week, right? But to be there multiple weekends in a row leading up to the practices,
yeah.
nothing beats it. Nothing beats it.
No, and you know, complacency. There's a saying: complacency kills.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yep.
it'll ruin a team. Being complacent is the worst thing you can do as an individual. That's the best life information you can really get. Like whether you're paintball, work, if you're complacent, you're killing yourself. You're not
Yeah.
excelling. You're not being the best you can be. I actually got to talk to Sarge tonight or last night, and Sarge goes, "Be somebody tomorrow." He
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Go be somebody," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, Sarge." I'm like, "Yes, sir." I was like, "You got it," because complacency kills, and you don't get to become your greatest self, whether it's on a team, it's paintball, and I think it's really exciting as an organization. Heat is stepping forward and realizing complacency kills, and we're getting to do this. And I'm glad we have a group of guys that is amped to do it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah. I mean, God, I was listening to a podcast the other day. I forget which one. But it was talking about how you're kind of like, we're always speeding our way towards not death, but like every time you look for comfort, it
mm,
allows zero growth, right?
mhm,
Like it's like that being comfortable means that like you're not actually taking any steps forward to change anything, and change
right.
is what makes growth. So like
Mhm.
I need to find it and I'll send it to you. I can't
Yeah, do it.
remember exactly, but man, it was they were saying it in a way that was really hitting the nail on the head with,
Mhm.
man, we are living for to be on, like to be living is to be uncomfortable all the time, because you're always doing something that's like new and exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
and yeah, I think that sometimes there's a time and place for the comfort, especially when you
Yeah.
need to rest and recover. But
Mhm.
there's a time and place for being productive, and that's what you do when you're awake.
Yeah. You gotta earn the comfort. You need to go out
Yeah.
there and earn the comfort. You need to earn that rest time. I've started running even though, no excuses, right? I have that 10-inch plate and 8 screws in my leg. And
You're a badass.
dude, I'll wait for this story. I'll make it short.
Okay.
So I was running in trail shoes. I need to go pick up new running shoes. Mine that I had were broken down. The trail shoes were better than what I had. So I just hopped on and went and ran asphalt with them.
Yeah.
Just beating in the pavement, right? Um, I went to the chiropractor, and every time I run, I take a step, like it pounds in the ground and I can feel the plate and screws, and it's just painful.
Hmm.
Eventually I get used to it, and then I trudge on even harder, right? So I went to the chiropractor, my neck and low back. I have low back issues, so I went to chiro and got adjusted. I was like, my low back's still funky. And she was like, really? And she starts moving. She like picks up my leg and starts moving it. She's like, your hip is out.
Yeah, that's what
And
it was. I remember you telling me this.
I was
Holy
like,
shit.
I was like, what? She goes, yeah, your hip is out and it's pulling your pelvis and your low back out of place. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, your hip is out forward and to the side. And she pops it back in place. And I was like, huh, didn't even know. She goes,
Crazy, dude. That's crazy.
yeah, well, you know what? It's mentality.
Hmm.
Now, like, pain is temporary.
Yeah.
Like, if you have the mentality, pain doesn't bother you. When I
Yeah.
broke my leg, actually, I broke my leg. I was like, I'm good. I stepped on it and it was in 3 pieces, and I felt every single bone just go.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm good. They're like, you need an ambulance. I was like, no ambulance. Drive me to the hospital. And they're
Yeah.
like, what is wrong with you? It's
It's crazy.
mentality, and shock is a great thing, right? Shock's a great thing for your body. But I won't get on a tangent on that stuff. We'll rope it back in, but it's mentality is will change everything.
Hmm.
Whether and you have, and as a team aspect, you have to have that as a team, as a
Yeah.
whole team.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have that. Everyone have that same mentality to make the puzzle pieces fit together. So
Yep.
I think it was great. I'm super excited. And so, yeah, now you're just back into rest recovery. You're flying out tomorrow morning, going to California, coaching the Phoenixes.
Phoenix Rising. Phoenix
Phoenix
Rising.
Rising. Phoenix Rising.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
What division are they?
So it's Premier. So that's the
Okay.
highest division at the WCPPL.
Okay.
It's man,
Cool.
I'll tell you what, that is some of the most fierce competition besides the NXL that I've ever experienced. And
Really?
coaching against, I mean, I'm coaching against some pro players that I play against when I'm out there,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they have like a point cap for like a pro player.
Mm.
So like if you have been pro for a certain amount of time and
Hmm. Hmm.
did so much, your points exceed that cap, then you're not allowed to play, right?
Hmm.
So I can't play, but like people who either new pros or guys who don't have as much I guess as long as you don't essentially don't exceed those point margin, then
Hmm.
you can play. And I don't want to call them lower pros, right? Because they're not. They're
Hmm.
all the pro players that have been out there actually are great paintball players, but more or
Hmm.
less people who haven't been in the trenches maybe as
Yeah.
long, right?
Right.
But
Right.
it all depends on how your team performs, how you perform over the years. So to have that, and then the rest of them be basically semi-pro players, it
Mm.
is intense. Like coaching out there is intense.
Yeah.
Um,
That's.
and it's great for me as a player because I get
Mhm.
to see the game, learn a new field layout, see how my theories and principles of how I look at the field apply with the people that I'm coaching and see if that results
Mhm.
in wins. I think that helps tremendously
Mhm.
when I go play paintball myself.
Right.
So I find a joy in coaching because I have a formula that works for me and I understand it and I can help with the guys on the team understand what the ultimate goal is, and that's to win matches. So
Mhm.
um last time I was out there, I think we got fifth. We I think we went 4-0 in the prelims or very close to it.
Mhm.
Maybe 3-1.
Okay.
And yeah, these guys have been working very hard in the off season. I've been monitoring their group chat. And they they're always playing, they're always drilling, and they're always clowning each other. So the culture seems to be good, and I'm just excited
Good.
to work with some of those guys, and ultimately, come home with some hardware if we all come together and make it happen. So
That's
it's
right.
going to be hard. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard, and I'm going to put all my effort into focusing on giving the best information I can.
Yep. Great saying. Nothing worth doing is easy.
Yeah,
Right. Got to
yeah,
earn it. Got to
hell
earn
yeah.
it.
So
That's awesome,
I'm
dude.
stoked. I'm stoked.
Dude, that's great. So let's we kind of got into practice and that you do coaching as well, but that's for your passion of the game. You love it. You want to share it and grow it. And the next side of Ronnie is what helped get me into paintball. Just the youthfulness, the Dizon docs actually. got my regrowth back into paintball. It's what made me kind of come back and like love Houston Heat. It was you and just being fools and then
Mm-hmm.
just going on the field and just having a riot. And, you know, I don't know how I wound up on the Dizon docs. It was on YouTube. I just randomly found it, rolled into it, and I was like, oh, dude. I was like, this is great. So I kind of want to hit on Dizon docs a little bit. I don't want to keep you too long, but you know, the Dizon docs, how did that like start for you?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you, talking about what this little baby of a thing I've created. It's crazy because it's like I've told this story on a few podcasts, but I think it's good to
Mm-hmm.
talk about it again because I feel like sometimes it does
Mm-hmm.
get lost. When I was, hmm, I think around 2015, 2016, when
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't on Houston Heat, I was on Chicago Aftershock.
Okay.
I was watching and consuming a lot of vlogs on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
like I was watching these guys live their lives day in, day out and recording themselves. And I'm like, I used to use a little camcorder and
Mm-hmm.
record my friends and I playing paintball and, like just small little things. But I thought about
Mm-hmm.
all the things I did on Houston Heat and from 2012 to 2014. I'm like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
if I had footage of all that cool shit we did, it would be awesome. And
Right.
then fast forward to now, it's like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have a volume 1 through 20 of every single fucking mixtape that we've done, you know, and
Right.
all the cool things that we've done leading up to where we are now, right? So I think it's cool to
Mm-hmm.
be able to look back at all the memories, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm just creating a memory log with all the people that I
Yeah.
experience my life with,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean that's how the Dizon Docs got its inspiration. The name Dizon Docs came from this YouTuber. His name's Justin Escalona. He's actually from a town called Palatine, which is it was the same town that one of the local indoor fields was at out here.
Okay.
So I was always in Palatine and never met him though because he lived in LA.
uh,
But basically, he had this series called the Daily Docs, and he would just film his
uh-huh.
life in college every single day.
Oh
And
wow.
then and it would kind of force him to go do fun shit, like go
Right.
to that party that he was probably not going to go to, or
Right.
go, like hang out with a bunch of people that got into some things they probably shouldn't have, like
Right.
go
Yeah.
so like he just showed his life. And I was like, dude, I want to do that. I think it's cool. And I think it's going to
Yeah.
force me to have a more interesting life, you know?
Right. 100%
So,
because you're not the person to let it go to waste. You're not someone that's going to stop.
mhm,
So, I think it just drives you to be the better version of you.
yeah.
Um but you were just such a great passionate person of life. You were always a hype man. You you just you have that natural charisma and
Thanks.
yeah, you're welcome. It's very I think a lot of people are envious of that. They love to see that in people because all that has to be genuine. And it's just a great thing you got going. You're a great human being. I know I probably bug you. I talk to you almost every day, and but you your life is spectacular. So I'm really glad that you do this and vlog it. So yeah, kind of give you your
I,
flowers on that.
I appreciate that, man, and I know
Yeah.
you. You don't bug me at all. I enjoy talking to you, Hal.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it.
our calls usually start off with, I don't want to take too much of your time," and then we look at the clock and it's about an hour in, and we're like, "Oh shit, we got to go do things we were supposed to be doing," because we just get so into it. Um, so the biggest thing was is I wasn't always like this. I was actually pretty shy and introverted growing up. And
Oh,
I
really?
realized, yeah, and it's crazy that you say this. I realized that that wasn't going to get me the results I wanted in life, you know? Like
Oh,
whether it was be more of a leader,
yeah.
whether it was dating, whether
Right.
it was becoming a better, more confident paintball player, like I needed
Mm.
to find myself and come out of my shell and be who I wanted to be, And
Right.
I think I did lose some friends in that process, because they were seeing this new side of myself that they weren't a fan of, because they were kind of used to that quiet and, you know, to himself, Ronnie. And I,
Mm-hmm.
I think what I realized is like they wanted me to stay the same when I wanted to change. And we had to part ways. So it is
Mm-hmm.
sad that I did, uh, have some friendships that went other directions, right? But
Mm.
I knew that, you got to look out for yourself sometimes. And
Yeah.
I knew that I can't cater to someone else's expectations of me when I have a different goal for myself,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it is what it is. I mean, they may like it, they may not, but
Right.
I just know that there's more of the world to be seen, and there's more things to be learned. And I attribute it all to paintball. I don't think I would have learned these same lessons if I were to just go to school and who's to know, right? But I think paintball
Mm.
really taught me how to learn how to deal with people, how to deal with situations that occur in everyday life, and how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if
Yeah.
I could handle it in the paintball world, I could handle it in real life. And
Mm-hmm.
it's about not letting my emotions control me when I need to get
Mm.
some shit done.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, what I have to say about friends. I've gone through a lot of friends in my life. But the thing is, though, the people that are actually your friends are going to stay there through your growth because they love your core. They
mhm,
love you. They're there for that. The
yeah,
people that are choose to take the door, those aren't the people that end up being the people that ever wanted the best for you.
mhm.
They had you around for some selfish reason, and it wasn't because they it this is the thing. It makes people jealous when people start growing in to their full potential and they
Do
feel
you think
like
it's
they're stuck in it. Go ahead.
Do you think it's because they're comfortable themselves and they don't want to change that? Because most people and humans are addicted to that comfort, right? So do you
Yeah.
think they see that and they makes them look at themselves and go
Yeah.
like, well, you shouldn't be doing that because I'm not doing that? Like
$100%.
I think that attributes to a lot of why people resent people who try to change and try something new in their life?
100%. Conformity kills. People that
Yeah.
aren't willing to get out of that rut, you
Hmm.
can't, like, they are intimidated. They don't, they, and deep down, it may not even be intimidation when you break it down, really. It's just people don't feel, could even not feel worthy, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's like, they're like, this is too much. They're like, I'm out. And they take the easy way out. They cop
Yeah.
out and they
Yeah.
say, there's the door. So I think it could attribute a bunch of things, but the people that ride, the ride or dies are going, they're going to be the ones at your funeral. They're going to be the ones helping take care of you when you get old. Like, those are your people. Those are the people
Yeah.
that I that I'm going to keep in my circle. You
Right.
know. So, good for you though. Good for you, because change is hard. Not being comfortable is not easy, and growing yourself to the fullest version is what we're meant to do. It just depends on if you're lazy or not.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's awesome though. I don't think I knew part of the reason of Dizon Docs, but I didn't know all of it. And I definitely didn't know that you were more introverted. I would have never thought that. Um, so I've always been the loud person. Like, and I'm like, you can take it or leave it, and I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
so
I think
it.
I think I think I'm loud around the right people. But sometimes when I'm around people that I just don't really want to, like, I'm not too comfortable around, sometimes
Mhm.
I don't really feel it's necessary.
Yeah,
So, but I feel like when I'm with my boys, it's like I can be whatever I want. They won't
yeah.
judge. They don't care, you know?
Well, if people judge, who cares anyways, right?
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
So, but but dude. So Dizon docs, big things coming up. What do we?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
lay it
when you
on me.
took your work, when you took your work call, I did a subtle plug, but we might as well talk about it again.
Let's talk
Um,
about it.
yeah. So I got some new merch coming out. I actually have a box over here for the people watching on YouTube. I'll show you like one or two sneak pieces. Um, I'll show you one of my favorite pieces.
Heck yeah, I want to see it.
Okay, it's very simple, but a nice gray pair of sweatpants
Done.
with a little Dizon Docs logo on it, and these are like baggier, so they're really
Yeah.
cozy and comfy. As well as this shirt I'm wearing. And
Okay.
there's a few more pieces. We got a hoodie, we got a tank top, we have two pairs of sweatpants. We have two pairs, a
Mm-hmm.
black and a gray pair that are baggy, and then we have a
Mm-hmm.
black and a gray pair that are like joggers. So
Mm-hmm.
people like to wear skinnier jogger fit sweatpants. People like to
Yeah.
wear baggier sweatpants, and I think
Mm-hmm.
actually baggy is kind of in right now with fashion.
Yeah.
So being able to have that, and then I have like um, a nice heavyweight hoodie that's going to match the t-shirts. So a lot of that has come in. I had a issue with the samples. So I'm actually, after this podcast, I'm talking to my designer with my website, and we're going to plan our attack for the drop date. I'm hoping to look at dropping next week. I just got to make sure that I can get some content of me, a
Mm-hmm.
content of me wearing the merch. So I'm gonna try to get some photos while I'm coaching out there, and the
Yeah.
WC. I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that's basically it. I filmed some stuff with my friend Philly Shreds. I don't know if you've ever met him. I think I might have introduced you to him actually at Chicago
Yeah.
last year.
You
Big
did.
swole dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Him and I got a workout in, and him and I were doing some content wearing the workout tank top. So we
That's dope.
we got some cool stuff on the way with the Dizon docs. It's been a while since we've dropped some merch on the website, and I did a whole makeover on the website as well. And then I
Sweet.
also have some barrel tips coming out, some custom barrel tips that I made with DLX. They're really cool, and I teased them a little bit on my Instagram. So those are going to drop probably right after the spring collection. So I might even drop them all together. We'll see. So
Just
yeah,
a big bombardment. So I got a
yeah.
question because I want one.
Okay.
What about the hat?
This hat,
That hat. That
this one I'm
hat.
wearing for the people
That
who
one
are
you.
watching on YouTube.
Yes.
So these aren't necessarily going to be out yet, but once I get an idea of cost and quotes of when I can get these in time, these
Yeah.
could go into production. But I think I might be able to. I think I know a guy who can make you one, so we might be able to make that happen.
Man. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I mean the hats right now, they are not going to be part of the spring collection, but
Mhm.
they could
Okay.
release shortly after. I
Yeah,
would
I'm
like to
excited.
do a regular release at least seasonally.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be the winter collection, but winter was over by the time I got the samples. So I'm like, this is changing to the spring collection, which is what the Japanese says right underneath the Dizon docs. It says spring collection. It's supposed to say
Okay.
winter collection, but that wouldn't make sense because it's fucking spring already. So we are switching to spring collection, and I'm going to do a summer collection, and then hopefully do a fall collection, and then a winter collection at 2025. So we're starting it with spring.
Dude, I love it. No, that's great.
Yeah.
I always love your clothing too. It's always good quality. It's well priced. It's just nice clothing. It's good.
Yeah, I think
I'll
I spend more time on samples than I should, but I want it to be something that I'll actually wear, you
yeah,
know?
100%.
So,
Like, I mean, why are you going to buy it and throw it in a dresser or a closet and then not
right.
wear it? Like, I was
Yeah.
so bummed I missed out on your last
Yeah. Yeah.
jogger run, and I was like,
What
they
size
baked.
joggers do you wear, Hal?
You'll know when I order them.
Are they medium, large?
You'll know when I order them. I
Okay.
support my friend's
Fine.
business, man. I support friends' business, dude.
I
Friends
appreciate it.
don't get anywhere by moochers. I'll tell you that much, and I've always been that way. Steven, ask
Dude,
Steven.
I'll tell you what, you doing that, I don't think you realize means more to me than the world. Just because like I've had friends who they've hit me up knowing I have like merch and clothing out, you know?
Yeah,
And listen, I won't I'll hook up my friends when I feel is right to, you know?
yeah,
But I've had friends hit me up and you know, they they'll go and buy something full price from like some designers and stuff, you know? But
hmm
then ask for like a huge discount on like some of my merch or for free. And it's like, man, like, you know, and they're like, yeah, I want to support you, but like I want it for free. And it's like, I have to pay money for that.
yeah.
You know, like if I do a homie hookup for everyone, then I'll have no money, you know?
Well,
So it means the world to me when you say that you know, you want to support the business, you know, it really
dude,
does. Cause um yeah, it just it helps me continue to rinse and repeat with that
yeah.
income to make more cool stuff, you know?
Well, and that's the thing. And then also, people don't like. I don't know if people don't think about it. Probably just selfish. This goes back to like, and I'm not saying those people aren't your real friends. Maybe they don't think about it. Maybe they think it's not a big deal. But you know, being a real friend is buying things from their business, being there for them when they're down, not when it's, being a friend is not there. Like, you don't just show up and when it's easy.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see all my friends successful.
Yeah.
You don't only put money into it, you're paying for samples, your time designing, your time with the samples, like all these other things. And it's like you could have invested your time that made you money doing something else, but you're doing this because you love it and you want to grow. And I think that's I think it's the worst when people are friends with someone and they just take advantage of their business. I'm not saying they're just friends with them because of their business, but they're like, oh yeah, he's dropping this. Oh yeah, send me some of that. I'll wear it for you. Wearing it's great. Wear it, but buy it. Go out and buy it. Steven,
From
transfuse.
Transfuse, Stephen
Yeah,
Williams. Yeah.
yeah. Steven Williams, transfuse. You know, was an outdoor ambassador, got him some content, got him some photos outdoors, things like that, helped him out. He always tries to send me free stuff. And I'm like, no, that's not how your business grows. That's not how you become successful. The more
Mhm.
homie hookups you do, the less successful you are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's not what I stand on.
Yeah.
So no, I'm glad you appreciate it. And I know you do, but I don't need anything free. I don't need a discount. I want to buy it,
I appreciate that,
because
Hal.
yeah, of course. I mean, the real people get it. You get it. If I mean, you're here with me on my podcast. You've taken time out of your day. You're supporting me,
Yeah.
and it's like, it just shows who you are as a person. And like, it's kind of why I wanted to give you a platform, just us, and have a chit chat, because
Hell yeah.
yeah, it's how the world turns, right? And it's how we become successful in life. So, well, I appreciate that, man. I do. I
No
appreciate
problem.
you acknowledging it. Yeah. So,
Thanks, man.
no, yeah, of course. No, thank you, man. Thank you. Um, so I know you got to get with that designer. I don't want to keep you too much longer.
No, take your
Um,
time, man.
yeah, but so practice, coaching, you got the Dizon docs, what's going on with the Dizon docs? We're getting some more content out. You just released a new episode a few days ago.
Yeah, it was
What
the
was it,
one where we
Sunday
went and
or
tested the
no?
formats. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
So
was.
I'm slowly chipping away at these vlogs when I can, but between
Mhm.
Stella and I planning wedding stuff and me scheduling like practices and coaching and all these things, like I
Yep.
do have less time than I did when I first started the vlog,
Yeah.
to sit and edit.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm slowly getting away at catching up to where I am now in terms of like current vlogs. But I still have to do the Tampa ones, and the
Hmm.
Tampa practice ones, which, man, to be honest, like I got a little bit of footage, but I didn't get as much as I wanted. And the reason why if I don't have a videographer at our practices or at the
Hmm.
tournaments, what's rough is like I have to scrounge footage from so many different places. And then on
Hmm.
top of that, when our practices would happen, I used to use a barrel cam, and that really helped me film because
Right.
I didn't have to like worry about filming because I had a barrel cam on, So
Hmm. Yeah.
um I think what I need to do, Jackson has this little GoPro Hero. It's a little smaller one.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it records in a little bit less quality than like the one I have.
Hmm.
So I think I do need to invest into a new um, GoPro setup,
Hmm.
and record with that. So we'll see. I'm
I've
trying.
heard really good. I've heard really good things about the DJI action cameras that came out. I don't know how big they are, but I've heard great things. One of my buddy who's a videographer and filmer for all the duck hunts that I went on that were on YouTube, I
Yeah,
sent you. He's starting to use those, and he's saying they're just spectacular. Like I said, I don't
dude,
know if that's. Go ahead.
I had one.
Did you?
I had one. The battery life was just not ideal for me. Like it was like
Mm,
it was like like after 13 minutes of recording, it was like dead.
no.
And I was like, man, this is not, you
Was
know what
it
I mean?
faulty
But
battery?
no, it was fine. It was just I just have to keep replacing them or keep up
Mm,
to date. Like what's nice about the GoPros is in
hmm.
between points, or like if we have a break, I can plug it
Yeah.
into a little portable USB-C, and then it's like, you know, I can
Yeah.
get the juice back. So
Right.
I just got to find that flow state of doing that again. But like, lately I've really liked not having a camera on my barrel or on my head or anything when I play. I just
No.
really have enjoyed it.
So I'm gonna say this, Mr. Ricky Bobby. You do love Fig Newtons, but I can't see shit out of this thing. If that's how you play with that, you have to put it on in the tournament. You just you gotta
Hal's
go with.
referring to a Hal's referring to a clip where I shot 5 guys with a camera that was literally in front of my face,
He
and it
couldn't
was
see.
like I couldn't see a damn thing. So it's on
You
my
were
Instagram
holding.
if you guys want to see it.
You were like rolling your gun different, so you could actually
I was
see what
holding it
was
like
going.
sideways, and I was shooting sideways like this. Yeah, I got it done, but I can't say I can replicate that multiple times. I mean, maybe I
Well,
can. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
I,
what we've been missing.
I'm saying, dog. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You don't know until we do it. Um,
right.
no, but what I noticed is, life. Right? It's crazy. We have all these things going on, and we are um, we trudge on. But here's the deal: is like your quality hasn't wavered, and that's something I feel like you will not compromise. You're not going to settle um, on your quality that you're putting out.
Hmm.
Rather than
Hmm.
just pump content, you're staying true to D's on docs,
Hmm.
and you're keeping the quality at a very high level, which I think is what everyone appreciates about D's on docs. Now, I know for Mid Atlantic, you and I have talked about it. I think we're going to sort out the videographer
Yeah,
side
we're
of
gonna get something
things.
going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna take care of that issue.
yeah.
Um, so I don't think we have to worry about that with
Hmm.
us two executing on what we spoke about. And
Yep.
so I think I'm just really excited this year. This year's kind of this. We talked about this whenever I was talking to you about starting a podcast and things like that, and taking over. helping taking over the Heat page. This is the year for social media for us. But
Yeah,
that's
we're
just,
crushing.
yeah, that's just our, what I like about it is that is our mentality. We are just going at it full force this year. And so I'm
Yeah.
super pumped.
Yep.
So we're kind of rounding on that time that I don't want to keep you past. So I am going to, usually Ryan, I make Ryan give us some dad advice before we end. You know, dad
Mhm.
advice, life advice. You're a potato dad right now.
I have a dog, yes. I
Yeah.
don't know where he is. I probably should
I heard
figure
him
that out.
earlier.
I did too. I don't know where he is though. He was laying by the door. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Ugh.
But lay on some dad life advice for all our viewers.
Man, I think the biggest thing is right now what's been brewing with me is just be self-aware and take accountability for what you do, you know. I think that's huge. I think that's a
It's
big one.
huge.
Take accountability for your actions and you know, get out of that victim mentality because I think that's what
Mm,
a lot of social media and stuff kind of pushes onto us. And if you can do that, you can do anything. That's it.
dude,
Take control of your life, you know?
100%. And you can't do it if you have victim mentality. Go
Yeah.
out there and earn it. Go
Yeah. I
earn
mean,
every second.
I think the big thing is like, it goes back to what you said about running, right? I don't know how many
Yeah.
people I've heard say, I hate running, you know?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it, you know? And to me,
Yeah.
I'm like, you can do it. You just choose not to. And that's the language that you need to change it to. Like, I would rather somebody say, oh man, running, not my thing. I choose not to do it. It is what it is, right? But like
Yeah.
to say you can't do it, you definitely could do it.
You
Unless you
got
have some sort
legs.
of
If
yeah. If unless you got something medically, you really can't do it. But Hal's got a plate in his leg and he still runs. So riddle me that. You know, I just think that's like what running has taught me because Stella and I have been getting into it recently. Is like,
yeah.
man, it's just like it allows you to push yourself, you know, to certain points and you could find your breaking point, you know. And I think
Mhm.
it's like it applies to life. It's like, man, can I go a little harder? Can I go a little harder? You know?
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that's like when I hear people say that they don't like, they can't do this, they can't do that. It's like, you can, you just choose not to, you know?
Hmm.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. I'd rather them say I choose not to. I go, okay, I respect it.
Right. I mean,
You know?
that's facts. The last 200 meters, fun fact, and this takes back to my cross country days when I was running
Yeah.
the last 200 meters, still this day, I will go into a full out sprint.
Sick.
And yeah, like, and it is just a testament of your will, your mentality.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is going to suck, but it's proving that I still got this. And
Yeah, dude.
it is a long stride sprint. It is at the end of it, you're sick to your stomach, probably throw up,
Hmm.
but it is just an all out sprint for 200 meters after you've ran a few miles or whatever you do.
What does the pace say on your watch when you're doing that all out sprint? Does it tell you? Or do you not
No,
even run with the
I don't
watch?
have, I don't wear a watch.
Oh, you don't run with the watch? You're even more
No.
badass.
Nope, just my
That's sick.
dog, my hunting dog.
Oh,
And
your dog runs with you?
yeah, yeah, she
Oh,
runs
that's
with me.
sick. That's
Yeah,
sick.
she's a lab, dude. She's got the juice
Yeah. A
always.
potato can't.
Potato is made for lounging
Oh, he can
and
herd.
herding.
He's
He's actually a herding dog. Corgis are actually
dude,
designed to
he's
be a
got it in
herding
him.
dog.
And
Hmm.
I've jogged with him, but once he hits that point where his cardio, I can see his ear. Once he sees it, once that cardio starts to catch up to him, he just goes, I ain't moving.
Yeah, he's done. He's
So
got little legs, long body,
he got
little
little
legs.
legs.
Tough on him.
Yeah. Hell
But
yeah.
dude, real quick
Yep.
before I let you go,
Yep.
when you run your marathon, one day when you run it,
Yeah.
I might actually, after I get this played out in May, I might run it with you.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, I'm serious. But even if I don't, I will be there. I will be your pit man. I will be your hype man at all the checkpoints. I'm showing up.
Sick.
I'm showing
Sick,
up
man. Well,
one
I
way or
love that.
another. So
I want to tackle it. I don't know if it'll be this year or next year, but I want to tackle it soon.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
do it.
Yep.
Like 100%. Don't mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set
Oh,
a
let me
set it.
tackle a half first. Let me
That's
tackle a
fine.
half first. I want
That's
to do it well paced though. You know what I mean? Like I want to do a
yeah,
half well paced. So I first need to run a race first. That's my first goal. And
yeah.
then a
Run a
half and
race
then a
and
full.
just but being a long distance runner the way I was, it's all in your mind.
Yep.
You obviously have to be there physically,
Mm-hmm.
but just have expectations, go out there and know where you're at, like physically, and then
Mm-hmm.
just execute. That's all you got to do.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
So,
man. Well, I'm
but
stoked.
yeah, but I will let you go. We did hit
Cool.
the hour mark. Ronnie, thank you so much. Everybody, Ronnie, where can they find you at?
They can find me on Instagram at Rondon Dizon and on YouTube, youtube.com/Ronnie Dizon. I said that earlier when you were on the phone, but you don't worry. You're going to have to review it to see it. And that's basically it. That's the only two places I really pop off on.
Okay,
So see me on
awesome.
there. Shoot me a message if you guys are listening, and let me know if you guys listen to this podcast. And shout out to the Rowdy One. Shout out to Hal and Ryan Moorhead for putting this on and
Thank
giving a
you.
platform for us Heat players as well as the world to experience what paintball is about and what the Rowdy Ones is about. And yeah, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I appreciate it. And everybody, don't forget to check out the merch drop
Yep.
coming up. Make sure to stay tuned on Instagram for those days. And we will catch y'all in episode 5. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.